Hi everyone, my name is Laura and welcome to Book Bubbler. First off, I'm going to apologize if you can hear any construction outside my house. They've been quiet, but now that I'm recording, that probably means they're going to start slamming things again. I don't know what they're doing, but it's making my entire house shake. So if you hear vibrations and hear vibrations, that's not a thing. If you see vibrations and you hear like loud bangs and stuff, it's just road construction. Welcome to summer in Wisconsin. Anyways, hi, how are all you guys doing? I'm all right. This has seemed like a very long week and there's no real reason why. It's just a longer week this week. And I realized just before I went to sit down now, I have no idea what I was going to pick for Song of the Week. I had ideas and I don't remember them at all now. So I just looked at what I Shazammed today when I was driving around, and I'm going to go with Tracy Bird, 10 Rounds of Jose Cuervo. I've been listening to a lot of the Garth channel and Y2K Country on Sirius XM when I'm driving. I love Garth Brooks. That's what got me into country music. So like 90s and early 2000s country, I really like a lot. I mean, I like everything, but the Garth channel has a really nice mix because it could be anything and it could be a Garth song. I think this was on Y2K, the country one. Not that it matters, but it started up and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this song. And Jose Cuervo is tequila, correct? If that's the case, tequila and I, whew. Yeah, anyways, so enjoy some Jose Cuervo while you listen to 10 Rounds of Jose Cuervo. If you want to. You don't have to, obviously, clearly. Probably you have a job to hold down, so maybe don't do that on like a Friday morning. Okay, I finished 4 books this week. I finished them all on Sunday. I finished them all on Sunday. Oh boy. But before I get to those, I wanted to go over the books that I have to haul. They're chunky. I think one is a regular size book. Everything else is chunky. So this stack is pretty large. It's just right under out of frame here. So 2 books that I bought for myself are Holistic Tarot by Benebell. I've heard so many great things about this. This seems like the only book you need about tarot. Of course, I have more. Because I'm just trying to teach myself, use it as an insight tool for myself. And I mean, anything you can think of, I think, is in here. So I have this. It's more a reference book than a book, but here is a book. It's A Room Called Earth by Madeleine Ryan. This is set in, I think, Melbourne, and it's featuring a main character who is autistic, and she goes to a party, and so it's experiencing the party in her brain, in her body, and like what she thinks of feelings. Meets a man. Isn't until she invites him home that we are come to appreciate the humanity beneath the labels we cling to, and we can grasp the pleasure of what it means to be alive. It's supposed to be fairly uplifting. I don't think it's supposed to be saccharine, but I forget where I heard about it first. Probably Simon's channel at Savage Reads, and thought it sounded really good, so I just bought it for myself because, I don't know, I did. And then everything else here is from Danny at Spinelli Speaks. Hey, girl. So if you've been here for a little while, you know that last year, Danny and I, Bunny? This is a great Friday Reads. Buddy read London by Edward Rutherford. And the man does not know how to write a book under 800 pages. So that's the only book of his that I owned. But because she has got such awesome book sales and she can find stuff for like 25 cents that's brand new. I don't have that thing, she does. She looks for me always for Edward Rutherford's. They sell them here used at like half price books, but they're $9. Not bad, but you know, if she can get them for cheap, whatever. So I think she found this for like $1 somewhere, or 10 cents or something insane. I don't know, but it's Sarum, the novel of England. This is his first book, and it's about Stonehenge. Why can't I talk today? I just had caffeine. I should be better than this. I apologize. So this is set, I think it starts Middle Ages, perhaps, and then, oh no, okay, Ice Age, almost 10,000 years ago to the present day. And this was first published let's see if I can find this. Ooh, there's a family tree and maps. I love a map. I love a map. This is from 1987. So we'll see. I'm just collecting them. I don't know if we're going to do a buddy read together again or not. Of course, we're talking about buddy reads for next year because we were talking about that a year ago, but nothing has been decided, which is good because it's still only May. But anyway, so I have this chunkster from her, which is very nice to just give me because she is awesome like that. And then for my birthday, she surprised me with these, and I was expecting to pay her for them, and she said no. Happy birthday. So as she says, these are my Dick books. I apologize, but they're all by Dick Francis. So I, surprisingly to myself, I really enjoy Dick Francis. I've read 2 of his books, I believe, and they're really good. I normally avoid books that feature animals in general because I am so sensitive. If there's a hint of anything, even like the animal getting sick or being ignored in a conversation, like I can't handle it. That sounds really strange, but that's just very much how I am. So I just roll with it, and I avoid books with animals whenever I can. But these books I can get into. Yes, there's horse racing, or someone is a jockey, or there's something related to jockeys or horse racing or something in there. But they are all standalones with the exception of, I think, 2 books. And whatever kind of horse part is very brief. You know, maybe it's part of the plot, but they don't focus on stuff. And if a horse gets injured and dies, it's like a sentence. There's no sentimentality into it or anything, so I can handle it. And they're just really interesting. He has different, I'll hold up the next one. So here's To the Hilt. He has different jobs for every main character that he has, and they're all flawed. No one is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. Here is Field of, I can't read this backwards, Field of 13. But he researches, he and his son Felix, who Felix then took over writing with his father, and then when Dick passed away, Felix just took over everything. But he would research all these things, like one of the main guys in one of the books I read is a photographer, so he learned all about photography so he can get the details correct. This one, this is short stories. I don't know, anyways. Here's another one. Here is Shattered. But they all have varying, all over the place, different kinds of jobs. And it's interesting learning about these different areas of study, different things people do for work, along with everything else too. So I really enjoy it. If it sounds intriguing to you, I think it's worth checking out, Driving Force. And again, because they aren't really a series at all, and it's just that one duology, it doesn't matter where you start or where you pick them up or whatever. And the last one she got me is Second Wind. So thank you so much, Danny. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love my books, and they are all like brand new, pristine. She got them at a used bookstore, probably for like $1 because she's a magician. I don't know. Even when we went thrifting together, I was like, how did you find this? We're looking at the same shelf. She's like, oh, it's 49 cents. And I was like, I only saw the $3 books. What are you talking about? Anyway, so that's what came in. I really have no idea what I'm going to put, where I'm going to put any of these books because, again, the stack is like massive, but that's a problem for later, Laura. That's also why there are books everywhere in my house. Anyways, moving on. Let's talk about the ones that I finished, shall we? So let's get this out of the way first. Just this slim little guy, Greta, is it Thunberg or Thunberg? I apologize, I do not know. No One is Too Small to Make a Difference. It's a collection of her speeches, and mostly like 2016 to 2019. So there's a bit of repetition in there, but that's okay. The facts and information deserve to be repeated. And I'm impressed with her like crazy. So really enjoyed this, really like this. Glad to have a copy. Feel like it's something I can certainly leave out, and I can read a speech or 2 every now and then just to like remind myself why I get so fired up about environmental stuff. So, because I am a tree hugger, literally. Okay, and then, okay, this was a buddy read. It was a wonderful buddy read with Emily from Novel Novels, Ange from Ange's Book Chatter, and Danny, of course, from Spinelli Speaks. I accidentally got added into the Voxer group talking about this, and I said, actually, if you don't mind, I'll read this with you. And they very kindly let me in. This is my first Steinbeck. It won't be my last. I really enjoyed this one. I don't want to do any spoilers because I didn't know anything at all about this other than it was set in California. So I'm going to try and do the same and be very vague. So this is a very big book. Yes, this is mass market, and it's just under 700 pages for me. So the story is that it's 3 generations of families. It starts in the East Coast, I want to say Connecticut, I genuinely do not remember, and then it ends in California in the Salinas Valley. And so you're following through these 3 generations of families, but really you're only focusing on one main family, the Trasks. The Hamiltons are there for a while, and then they're not anymore, and the other family that's supposed to be there, I don't remember them at all. So you're following these generations of mostly men and the things they do. It's very, very biblical. The story is very biblical and follows a lot of stories from the Bible. It's about all the big things in life. There were some really wonderful passages, a sentence or a paragraph describing the way man acts or what anger does to a person or something. And I really wish I had flagged them. I'm kicking myself that I did not, because they were such wonderful little sentences. What else can I say without getting... Okay, so Kathy is one of the main characters in this book, and she is incredibly evil. It was really enjoyable, really kind of refreshing, that sounds strange, to really hate someone and have that hate be justified and not feel like I have to backtrack and be like, well, they probably had the bad day, or, you know, they had a really rough childhood and they haven't dealt with that yet, even though they're in their 50s. So like, that's what it was coming from. It's not just you, or, oh, you know, it's no, I could just straight up hate this person because she was terrible. She was terrible. So nasty, horribly nasty. So it was enjoyable to hate her. And it made, it kept the story going, certainly, seeing what she would try and pull next, or if you could try and figure out, for me, what she was thinking, what her wheels were turning about, how she could manipulate this person, which would manipulate that person so she could really get what she wanted, but, you know, have her hands clean or whatever. So I really enjoyed reading Kathy. I wanted to smack some of the characters sometimes, like, oh my gosh, wake up, or have a conversation. But yeah. Also, this was written in, or published in 1952, I want to say. So the language is not great. The N-word shows up a lot. Chinese are referred to in a very terrible slang. And every time it came up, I was like, oh, just jarring. Because this seems more modern than that. But I know it's only fairly recently that it's been a bigger deal to make sure language like that isn't just tossed about casually, you know, which is good. It's overdue, but still strange to read about. So just a heads up, but it's a product of its time. So it just is what it is. And without saying anything about the end, things were tied up. And while I wasn't thrilled about all the parts of the ending, I did appreciate that there weren't any threads left hanging or anything. So I enjoyed this. I think I'm going to give this 4 stars. I don't know if I'll ever reread it. Maybe I will. But I for sure will not be afraid anymore to read Steinbeck. So really enjoyed that one. That was a 2-month buddy read, by the way. And then, okay, let's talk about this guy. This is The Possessions by Sara Flannery Murphy, from February of 2017, book of the month. I am right on top of stuff. Boy, this is very much me. Okay, this is a thriller, and I guess this is also supposed to be a miniseries on HBO, I want to say. Like, the rights were bought by somebody, and it's coming out fairly soon. Don't quote me, but like, I remember reading some reviews and stuff after I finished it, and that was mentioned several times. So this could be coming to a small screen near you. So our main person, Edie, she works as a body, and in a clinic that contacts the dead. There's been a pill that's developed they call it the Lotus, that allows you for a half an hour to like slip out of your consciousness, and another like body or another soul can come into your body. So people that are grieving are like come into this clinic and for a half an hour, they can have a conversation with their loved one again that's passed. Everything seems fine, but of course, stuff isn't what it really seems. She develops a crush on a man who comes in to see her, who's trying to contact his wife who passed away suddenly. She drowned. And there's suspicion in the general community and on the news and everything that he actually killed his wife, but she's still attracted to him. And so she's starting to do things outside of work that she shouldn't do. She's semi-stalking him. Things progress a lot, and that's one storyline. The other storyline that comes with this is that there's a Jane Doe body found, and it comes out that this Jane Doe, because they don't use their real names, no one, even like between each other, they don't know each other's real names. So her real name, no one knew who she was, but she used to work at this clinic where Edie works. She used to be a body herself. So how did she end up murdered, left alone, abandoned for several months? When she worked here, what was she doing? Did she steal lotuses to do stuff on the side with people, like to earn more money, or what happens? And did this man really kill his wife who he's trying to contact? And what is Edie going to do? There's also a lot of insinuations about some big bad that she did in her past life. So she changed her name. She moved to the city to be anonymous, and being a body is also anonymous. So the threat of her past keeps bubbling up. And as we get closer to the end, it just keeps rising to the surface in little ways. So it's just trying to quash that, and it's a lot. It's not as tense and edgy as I expected it to be. It's not a nighttime read for me still. I read it during the day. And it seems very long. It's not that bad, 350 pages, I believe. Yep, 354. So the length is just fine. It just kind of felt oddly drawn out in a way. This is also Sarah's first novel, so no hate, no shade. This is not a bad review by any means. I did enjoy it, but it just seemed a little bit long, and it could have been a little tighter somehow. There are a lot of characters to keep track of, and then once you start learning people's real names on top of the fake names, and then the fake names also have nicknames, so it's just a lot to keep track of. I was confused. Part of that probably is my problem because I let it sit for a couple of months before I read it again, and I was 80 pages in or something. So anyways, if you enjoy thrillers or you want to read this before the show comes out, whenever the heck that is, I say go ahead. I really enjoyed it. I'm 3.5 stars, and I don't read a ton of thrillers, but I did like it. So, and I was surprised by one part and not surprised by two parts. So there's that. Okay, and the very last one, I'll try to keep this up. I know I've been talking a lot. I apologize. Is The Betrayal of the Blood Lily by Lauren Willig. This is the 6th book in the Pink Carnation series that Danny and I are doing together, reading along together this year. Okay, Penelope is our main girl. Penelope is the best friend of Charlotte and Henrietta, and the three of them, so we have seen Penelope before throughout all of the other books in the background or at a ball or whatever. Penelope is the kind of person who's off snogging in a corner or flirting with all these guys and stuff. And the insinuation is that she's doing so with people, but it's never confirmed at all, and she never gets caught. So she just flirts all the time. And she has had a kind of a rocky home life. Her parents aren't around. I think they both passed away. So her grandmother's chaperoning her everywhere. At the end of the last book, beginning of this book, she gets caught coming out of a bedroom with Lord Frederick Staines. So she is forced to marry Freddie. They're forced to marry each other. So they get married pretty quickly. And in order to escape the scandal in London, they go to India, where he's got his post in the army. So a 6-month journey. She goes to India with her spouse, who doesn't care for her really. He's too busy sleeping around and being a dude bro and gambling away all of her money and everything else. And while they're there, a man, Alex, who is a soldier in the army, he essentially watches out for her because Freddie doesn't care. He's wasted or whatever. So he helps her, and Penelope starts to get feelings for him. He gets feelings for her. What's going to happen with them? Are they going to really get together or not? Because she is married, and it's not a huge community of people in India. There are wars coming around. So that's all of her story. But the bigger picture is, of course, there's still spying going on. There's someone called the Marigold, And at the beginning of the book, she and Alex both end up inadvertently chasing after who they think is the Marigold. But they find out that there is a big ring of spies, all named after flowers again, in India. And no one quite yet in France or England knows about that ring specifically. It's all run by the gardener, but there is the moonflower and there is Jasmine, and there are all these people involved in this spying ring against England. So she had an attempt on her life by a snake. Like, all this crazy stuff happens with it. And I enjoyed it. 3 stars. Like, all of these are ending up being 3 stars. So since we read about a quarter at a time, the first 2 quarters were interesting, but not great. The 3rd quarter was super interesting, very fast paced. It was hard to put it down. And the end was kind of, you know, but it does set things up nicely for the next book, which we will start over the weekend, and I can't wait. So it was pretty good. We both liked it. We both felt the same way about the pacing and everything, but yeah, just sort of nice to read it and read together, of course, as well. So that's it for me this week. Memorial Day weekend here in the States. I'm debating doing a reading vlog for the weekend, but then you would be getting 2 reading vlogs in a row, essentially, because coming up on Tuesday, I will have my June TBR, and I wouldn't post my Memorial Day weekend vlog until the Tuesday after that, and then the video after that would be mid-month book bash vlog. So do you really want to see 2 vlogs in a row? I mean, it's just folding laundry. I don't know. So I'm debating that. I might do it, I might not. I might do it and then decide not to put it out. I don't know. We'll see. But I will just be home. No one is going to be around. My mom might come over to watch some British TV with me, but that's a big maybe. Otherwise, I'm just going to be here working on decluttering and reading and just being a big old mom. I'm looking forward to it. So I hope you guys are all doing well and taking care and staying safe. I hope you have either wonderful plans you're super excited about for this weekend if you are here in the States, or conversely, that you can just stay home and be huddled up and be a couch potato like me. Anyways, I hope you enjoy it and that you are all reading something really, really wonderful. Yeah, I gotta read something. I haven't read all week long. That's too long. So anyways, all right, take care. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.